Hi, welcome to the channel where I can talk about whatever I want. And following the release of my Rayna Foss deep dive, which you guys ate up by the way, let's discuss Cold Chamber in its entirety. Without further delay, let's begin. Getting their start as a band in the early 90s, Cold Chamber, originally called She Is Pain, consisted of Miguel Meeks Rascon and Des Fafara. This was based on their love for 80s goth band Sisters of Mercy. Drummer Mikey Cox and bassist Rayna Foss would be recruited for the band through a newspaper ad. When Foss joined the band, it would be called Cole. However, Des wanted the band to be called Chamber. The words ended up being combined into what we now know as Cold Chamber. In 1994, Dino Cesares of Fear Factory supported a demo tape from Cold Chamber, which caused a stir within local gigs at the Roxy Theater and Whiskey A Go-Go, which led to Roadrunner Records offering the band a contract. Unfortunately, Fafara would drop out due to disagreements with his wife about the band, but in 1995 he would return to the band, unfortunately ending his marriage for now. After Fafara returned, they reclaimed their deal with Roadrunner. In 1996, Cold Chamber would play the first Ozfest. Cox would join the band, and they would begin working on their self-titled, which would release in 1997. They would release one single, Loco, and a music video to go along with the song, which would be directed by Nathan Karma Cox. This video would then be featured as an extra at the end credits for Dee Snider's Strangeland, and the band would also then write Not Living for the soundtrack of the movie. In 1999, they would end up releasing Chamber Music. Due to the success of the album, the band would end up touring on headlines and festivals. This caught the attention of Sharon Osbourne, who would then end up becoming their manager. That very same year, Cold Chamber would be set to tour with Insane Clown Posse on their Amazing Jekyll Brothers tour. However, unlike the other acts such as Biohazard, Mindless Self-Indulgence, etc., Cold Chamber was not received well at all. ICP fans were not buying tickets for the tour as they did not like Cold Chamber, and all three shows that they played at, there were multiple ticket refunds. And due to this, Violent J and Rob would kick Cold Chamber off the tour. After this, Cold Chamber would release Dark Days in 2002. During this time, Rayna Foss would leave the band to raise her daughter after finishing recording for the album. She would be credited on the album and replaced by current bassist Nadia Polin. The band would end up breaking up in May of 2002 due to an onstage altercation between Fafara and Rascon during a show in Lubbock, Texas. Before the show, they had been fighting verbally, and that would continue on stage, with Rascon hitting Fafara with the headstock of his guitar. Fafara would announce, "This is the last Cold Chamber show ever," before storming off stage. The rest of the band would attempt to continue the show with Rascon singing vocals, however, they would end up stopping the show completely. The band managed to pull it together for an appearance on the late-night show, Last Call with Carson Daly, and a summer tour with American Head Charge, Lollipop Lustkill, and Medication. Those would be the last shows played for now. In late summer of 2003, Giving the Devil His Due, a compilation album with live performance, demos before they signed to Roadrunner, and other mixes of already released songs, was released. Cold Chamber would officially retire for now in 2003, and Fafara would continue with Devil Driver after this. A year later, in August of 2004, Roadrunner would release The Best of Cold Chamber, another compilation album. In June 2005, Fafara would go on to say that the breakup was permanent. For now. Fafara continued as the vocalist for Devil Driver, recording 7 albums such as Devil Driver, The Fury of Your Maker's Hand, The Last Kind Words, Pray for Villains, Beast, Winter Kills, and Trust No One. Fafara would be the only member of Cold Chamber to release music post-breakup. Poland would go on to create the t-shirt company Cruel Tees, which I believe still exists, but through her link tree, it looks like it's just a link to her shop that may have been called Cruel Tees. I don't know. You can fact check me on this. It's fine. After Cox recovered from a car accident, he, along with Jay Gordon of Orgy, the band, formed Machine Gun Orchestra, which I take that with a grain of salt because I can't find anything on it. Rascon would form the rock band Glass Piñata. This group would release a few demos to a website, have several lineup changes, and would finally disband. Following this, Rascon would join Neo Geo in mid-2009, but would leave in 2010. Fafara and Rascon would settle their differences, and Meeks would go on to play Loco with Devil Driver in 2008 in Pomona, California. You think I would know how to say that, considering I live in California. In September of 2009, Poland and Cox would form an unnamed band, which unfortunately wouldn't go anywhere. And finally, in September of 2010, Rascon and Cox joined each other to create We Are the Riot. In September of 2011, Fafara, Cox, and Rascon reformed the band with Shayla Rhea Harper on bass to play the Soundwave Festival in Australia. In October of 2012, Fafara announced that they would be taking it slow, in part to his commitment to Devil Driver, and they were also writing new material. The band would later perform at Download 2013 and tour with Seven Dust, Lacuna Coil, and Stolen Babies at Rock Am Ring, Grass Pop Metal Meeting in DeSalle, and Nova Rock Festival. Nadia Poland would officially reunite with the band in October of 2013, and the band itself would sign to Napalm Records in 2014 as they began work on new material. This would be completed in December of 2014, and in February of 2015, the title Rivals would be released, followed by the premiere of I Owe You Nothing in March, and then the release of a lyric video for Suffer in Silence featuring Al Jorgensen in April. The album would be released May 19th, 2015, and would be their first studio album in 13 years. In May of 2016, Fafara confirmed in Blunt magazine that Cold Chamber was on hiatus, stating that due to the success of Devil Driver, Cold Chamber, quote, has no place in my life whatsoever at this point. Then, in June of 2017, Fafara would state that he would begin to perform Cold Chamber songs with Devil Driver, with the realization that Cold Chamber may never tour or make music again. Then going on to say that the band is, quote, done forever. For now. Later in 2018, he would announce that Cold Chamber would not be coming back. For now. In 2020, Fafara would speak about the band's status during an interview with Metal Hammer. When asked about a possible reunion, he said, quote, I'm not going to say no because we've all spoken. The main thing for me is that the relationship is all good after numerous fallouts in the beginning and after some stuff went horribly wrong when we got back together to release Rivals. The vibe in that camp is very cool at the moment and we all have each other's back. I wouldn't put it past us, but right now I'm definitely concentrating on Devil Driver. Cold Chamber would reunite for a final time without breakup in November of 2022. They would go on to perform just a year later at Sick New World in 2023. They reunited again, according to Fafara, because of his near death to Coven. This prompted his wife, Anastasia, to contact the rest of the band. He would later go on record to talk about the possibility of new music, saying that, quote, I've realized any problem we've ever had is gone. This is where we are now, so let's get into the influences and their legacy. Coal Chamber took many influences from different bands. These are including, but not limited to, Bad Brains, Metallica, Fear Factory, The Cure, Bauhaus, Machine Head, Jane's Addiction. They are classified as nu metal, but fall under categories like gothic rock, hip-hop, heavy metal, groove metal, and alternative metal. According to Alt Press, Coal Chamber is one of the bands, like Korn, Slipknot, that defines the nu metal genre as a whole. The genre as a whole would not have left the starting gates if it weren't for the achievements of Coal Chamber. It's safe to say their legacy is still felt throughout the world, with them going on tour, on the Psychotherapy Sessions tour with Butcher Babies, Nonpoint, Guar, and Mudvayne, as well as touring again in Australia with Mudvayne. With that, this is the end of the band's history, for now. I'm KodaKandi, and goodbye. Also, this is the second voiceover I've recorded for this, and if I have to record it again, I'm gonna lose my mind. So, whatever I have right here is what you're getting, because I'm not redoing this. I have way too many bloopers, and I don't feel like re-recording it.